Okay, so I have a little activity for everyone to do. There are different cards here, and there are letters on them, and all of the letters are arranged differently on each of the cards. So when I say go, y'all are going to start counting one letter. Only one letter, but count all of them. The letters are worth different points, but you can only count one letter. So all the A's are worth something, all the B's are worth something, and all the C's are worth something. You don't know how much they're worth, though. So I'm going to call go, and then I'm going to say stop, and you have to figure out how many you've counted in that time. Ready? Go. Okay, stop. So how many letters did y'all count?
5.
How did it feel that you couldn't count all the letters?
Well, it was quick. You were like,
You
okay.
knew there were more, right? And you knew you could have done more. So I would have tried to pick all the letters, or I would have tried to pick the letters that I thought were worth the most, just guessing off of intuition. And this is how I felt the week before finals when everything was piling up. At the beginning of the semester, I was the kind of person who I felt if I didn't count all those letters right in the certain amount of time that I had, there would be more consequences than I thought. My teachers would think I was untrustworthy and not hardworking, and I would have thought I could have done better. It's not that I thought that others would do better than I would. It was all about personal expectations and striving to be the best that I could be. This semester, though, I learned that striving for accuracy is relative. I don't have to do everything 100% on time and perfectly to do well in school and in my personal accomplishments. My life does not depend on what or how much I accomplish. Accomplishment is relative because I've realized that you can only do your best. Once you accomplish as much as you could have, that is all that you could have done. When I hit a breaking point, though, I knew that I had to change something in terms of how I measured my success. About 2 weeks before exams, I had a breakdown about everything that wasn't perfect in my life. Academics, body image, time management, and my social life were a few of the contributing factors. The stress had grown so large inside of me without me realizing it, and it just happened to surface that Monday morning. My friends and teachers were there to support me, but I felt like I couldn't make anything go away. As I ran back to the yurt, I felt indescribably vulnerable, and I collapsed on the ground in a hysterical fit of tears. There was nothing that I could do about it. After a while, I decided to call my mom. She told me to only do the best I can do and take each day at a time and take some deep breaths. After I calmed down for a while, I sat in the chair near the empty bunk and thought about ways that I could fix the problem that I didn't even know I had until then. If you don't know what the problem is, how can you fix it? I had to determine how I was measuring my success and how I should change it. Before I experienced a moment of realization, I had played this school game pretty well. To my friends, I described school as something that I didn't try too hard at. I didn't want to be the girl who tried so hard at everything, but I pushed myself inside to be. Along with struggling to try to be healthy and have self-discipline all the time, I had loads of assignments piling up that my fried brain just couldn't handle. I set the standards for accuracy that I wanted to achieve, but I had to realize what was reasonable. Doing everything that was assigned to you and everything that you assigned to yourself is honestly impossible. Some people sacrifice certain things in order to excel at others, but I didn't want to give up trying to do it all. Ellie, my amazing mentor, gave me a piece of cardboard later that day that had a quote by Ralph Waldo Emerson on it. Finish each day and be done with it. Some blunders and absurdities no doubt crept in. Forget them as soon as you can. Tomorrow's a new day. You shall begin it serenely and with too high a spirit to be encumbered by your old nonsense. I found this relative to almost all stress in my life. This advice inspired me in a way that was calming. I figured out that if I changed my mindset, I could change the amount of stress that I endure. Maybe I had said something sarcastic that came across as mean that day. I could let it go and do better tomorrow. Over the next few days and weeks, I tried to be more encouraging to my friends, I tried to be more optimistic, and I managed to handle my academic stress. I stopped comparing myself to others because it put me down. I started accepting people's personalities even though they were different from my own. All these things made me a happier person. I had also realized that by sitting near the empty bunk, that I have to take things day by day. I also have to spend time doing things that balance the stress, or else I would be under its control. This was the accuracy I was striving for, being a better person all around without stress getting in the way. Even if I measure success in the amount of assignments I get done, I know that I did the best I could have, because it was all that I could have done. Reducing other kinds of stress led to the ability to cope with academic stress. Being a better person on my terms made a few things easier to handle, which fed into my academic management. After changing my daily habits of mind, I also noticed that 1 week had passed, then 2. I was really able to cope with my stress. I had used my definition of accuracy as all that I could have gotten done that day, and this helped me feel like I had done everything. Because I did do everything that I could have. There comes a point that I've been talking about at which you have to stop trying to do everything perfectly. Some people realize too early and really do slack off, but some people remain in a high-stress situation for a long period of their life. I think that during my junior year, the most stressful academic year of high school yet, I have learned how to address my stress as something that I need to take care of and monitor. I've also learned what makes me happy outside of the classroom. After filing all this useful information away in my brain, I know that I can return home and apply this knowledge of myself. I face stressful academic, emotional, social, and physical situations at home, but I know that I will be a better person as long as I remember what I learned about myself at Alza.